Pokemon, and today I'm going to rank how big of a counter each character is to Loki. I am the number 49 Loki in the entire world, consistently top 500 in every season, so I know quite a bit of Loki. I played him since season 0, throughout the highs, throughout the lows, throughout when he was gutted, throughout his peaks, and I've gained a bit of knowledge from playing Loki. Now here are the rankings right here: full counter, counter, soft counter, and none. Up here is who is good against Loki and how much of advantage they have against Loki. Down here, slight edge, good against. Easy mode is who Loki is good against. Now let's begin. Adam Warlock and Loki aren't matched up against each other a whole lot, since Adam is really not that great of a pick in double support, but overall I don't think either of them have an advantage over each other. They both have a very long cooldown which can save their life. They both have pretty good sustainability and survivability, but I don't think in a fight they would go against each other too much. Angela, I would do a very soft counter. With her pull, when she swoops in to grab you, it cancels Loki teleport, and her bash cancels Loki teleport again, and cancels Loki's flick animation to do his runes. So if you try to teleport and you actually get the animation off, Loki, he doesn't teleport instantly. His hitbox stays behind, so he still takes that damage of Angela. Black Panther, I would say counter, if not full counter, but I would say just counter for now, because the runes can really impact Black Panther, but at the same time, Black Panther can spear on his illusions and gain a mark. So you can have infinite really dashes, not infinite, but you get my meaning, infinite dashes on Loki illusions, which Loki can't do anything about that. If he places more, that's just more things to actually dash on. Black Widow is another one that they don't interact too much, but I do think it's a soft counter just because she can easily 2-tap the illusions and without really needing to aim. And if you take down the illusions, Loki needs to really play protective because his illusions are on a cooldown. They are infinite. And if the illusions are down, that is really small healing. Blade, another counter. If he's on the backline, Loki's runes, yes, they do stop him a bit and it's kind of hard to actually deal with them, but Blade has multiple boops in a row which cancel Loki teleport, which cancel runes. Actually, I'll put it right above Widow because it's kind of like an Angela case, but I think actually worse than Angela, so I'll do actually this. Captain America, I mean, he's really just a pest. He's like a mosquito. I'll put none because he doesn't really have any impact either way. He can easily bait out runes with his like damage and combos and everything, but when his runes go up, I mean, he's just really doing nothing for like 5 seconds in a row. Cloak and Dagger, I would say Loki has a slight edge just because his burst healing and burst damage is way higher than hers, and Loki can just wait out her bubble and he can just burst her down, so I would say slight edge to her, but it would depend on how good the players are in each character. Elsa, another counter. She has another boop which can cancel Loki's animations for either his teleport or his runes, and overall can put him in the air so high and boop him around that really Loki can't do anything about it because his runes are on the ground if he gets it out, and if he's so high in the air, he can't really do anything about it. And with Glartrox, her ult, Loki, if he teleports, his hitbox still stays where he was, so he gets trapped in it still. Along with her right click ability, which kind of tracks throughout people and kind of hurts them over time a little bit and marks them, she can use that E on illusions and track through them to other people, alongside building up her passive off of Loki illusions. Emma, another counter to Loki. Her beam, this is really the only thing for her. Her beam can charge off of Loki illusions, so Jesus benefits off of them. If anything though, I would say kind of more of a soft counter, right? Kind of in front of Widow actually. Daredevil is another counter. He can only mark the real Loki. He isn't fooled by Loki illusions. And he has a CC ability with his grab, which pulls you out of animation, so you can't teleport, you can't ruin while in the middle of that, along with him just having high burst damage. Any form of Deadpool, I would say is a soft counter right above Widow because of his right click solely. Alongside his primary, which you can build up the style meter and his skill meter by Loki illusions, but also the right clicks are, I mean, you can just place them at the enemy Loki illusions to shred them over time. Doctor Strange is another soft counter to Loki. He can build up his E ability burst on Loki illusions. Gambit, I would say Loki has a slight edge against Gambit, probably lesser so than Cloak and Dagger, because Gambit does have quite a bit of fighting ability and maneuverability, which Loki doesn't have, but Loki has the runes and has the burst damage, which can just waste out all of his abilities right here. I mean, in Gambit. Groot, he doesn't really benefit off of him, and Loki doesn't really benefit off of him. If anything, they're more of a symbiotic relationship with their team-ups with Mantis, but anyway, no really difference. Hawkeye is another soft counter just because he can get rid of Loki illusions so quickly. I may be wrong about this, but he can get charge off of his bow from Loki illusions. illusions, which you can just one tap them and waste all of Loki's cooldowns. Hela, it's the same case. You can just two tap all of the Loki illusions, and it's pretty good about it. Plus, her primary can, if she kills someone with it, I mean, can burst off of them and do more damage around the surrounding area, and that counts illusions. Hulk, I would say no change. Actually, I would probably say slight edge to Loki. There has been many times where a Hulk tries to go after me, but I right click and walk away, and the Hulk is throwing around and juggling my Loki illusion. There's been times also where I right click just in time where the Hulk wastes his Q ability in his ult, where he slams Loki to the ground, but he was doing it to my illusion. So I would say slight edge to Loki. I would actually put him right there. Torch, I mean, slight edge. Loki can't really do anything to him. Actually, I would put Torch actually in counter, because other than Loki can't do anything about him, Torch can just like put flames on the back line and heavily limit where Loki can place his illusions, which can really impact a team fight. Invisible Woman, I think she is another soft counter to Loki, just because her vortex, she can send at the enemy backline, just destroy them over time. Iron Fist is the same thing, just with the animation cancels with his kick, he can just completely demolish Loki, especially with Loki. If he baits out the 30-second runes, there's really nothing that Loki can do. If Loki goes invisible with his right click ability and goes backwards, Iron Fist tracks onto him even though the illusion is right in front of him. Iron Man, he would have been a none, but again is probably around here because they added a 2+ second overdrive to any elimination, including Loki illusions. Jeff, I mean, it's the same thing. It's another very soft counter just purely on his beam and ult. His beam, if both of them are playing into a choke like a Loki and a Jeff will win that interaction just because Loki's illusions are getting shredded. Alongside if Loki teleports but Jeff is swallowing where he was, Loki's hitbox still stays behind and Loki gets swallowed. Now Loki against Loki, I mean, of course, Luna Snow, I guess she has her clap which can help in chokes, but if anything, Loki is very good against her. The only thing she really has is her freeze and 2-tap after that, but that's really her only bread and butter against the Loki. Any good Luna will never win against a good Loki unless her team helps her in some way, which that, me saying that, I'll put her in easy mode. Magic, kind of the same thing with hitboxes, but with Loki illusions, she can actually gain shield, so I would actually put her there. She's an extremely soft counter though. Magneto, other than if Loki copies like, let's say, a cloak and dagger, I feel like Loki's actually slightly good against Magneto, especially with his runes. There's clips of me out there on my channel of me placing a rune at myself and in the middle of my team, so when the Magneto ult, they're like, where do I shoot this? Well, they can't because everywhere is safe. So Loki has a slight edge against him, but in his ult, Magneto has a slight edge, but in their base form, Loki does have that edge. Mantis, I think it's another case of Loki having another slight edge. I actually say good against. Loki is good against Mantis, while her sleep and 2-tap is good. Loki can just rune during that time and pretty much just 3-tap her because she has no sustainability really other than her self-damage boost, which gives her slight healing. Other than that, it's like easy mode, good against. I mean, Mr. Fantastic, it's another thing where I would have said soft counter because, you know, if Loki teleports, he can't because, you know, Fantastic has that pull ability. Actually, I would say soft counter because of his ult and his range. He can take Loki out of his ability, all of that. Moon Knight is the full counter. I mean, there's nothing you can really do against a good Moon Knight. Namor is a counter. Other than Squid's auto-targeting Loki if he's in sight, other than the illusions, Squid's also auto-target the runes and not the people under the runes, and those can really impact them. Plus, Loki cannot teleport out of Namor's ult. Penny, Loki is good against. People may say, why? Well, you can rune and help your team. Whoever gets pulled, let's say a Bucky from the enemy team pulls in your group, you can quickly throw in a rune into the mines to protect them, or you can yourself rune into the mines and then destroy the nest and walk out. So it's actually pretty good. Actually, I put it good against right here. Phoenix is actually a pretty good counter to Loki. Other than her ult destroying all Loki illusions and runes, she can use her spark charges and explode Loki illusions for extra health. Psylocke, Loki is good against because of his runes. Punisher is a soft counter by how easily accessible he can just easily shoot the Loki runes. Rocket, I mean, I would say Loki, it's pretty easy mode against Rocket, I'll be fully honest. Rogue is a counter to Loki, other than she can steal runes from Loki illusions and Loki himself, giving 3 little standpoints to actually steal from. She also has multiple CC abilities, which stops Loki from snapping for his runes and snapping for his teleport. Scarlet Witch, Loki is good against. With her ult, Loki can just rune. He can also teleport out of there. He can't really right click out of there because it damages him over time and pulls him in. But in base game 2, while her E ability, which I think is the stun, is quite annoying, Loki is generally good against her. Spider-Man is a counter to Loki. Spider-Man's E pull towards someone is a CC, which locks Loki out of his teleport Power and runes, alongside his uppercut, which again locks Loki out of both. If Spider-Man pulls Loki towards himself, that's a CC plus uppercut CC. If Spider-Man pulls himself towards Loki, that's 2 CCs alongside that. Squirrel Girl, another soft counter, just you can easily get rid of illusions, especially with this horrible chokes you can go after Squirrel Girl at, where she can just shoot at one angle the whole entire time. Star-Lord, Loki is good against, purely based off his runes. Actually, I would say this base game, no ult. Loki and him have equal gameplay, because Star-Lord can just like E ability and just shred illusions, shred runes. Storm, none to soft counter, because I believe she can build charges off of Loki illusions. Thing, I mean, I love going against things as Loki. He pops like a balloon. Thor, I would say Loki is a slight edge. His Rune Awakening is really annoying to go against, but other than that, I think Loki does have an advantage overall to him. Ultron is a counter to Loki, because Loki can't really do anything about him, and really the Ultron has free range to really do what he wants to Loki during the entire match, whether it be destroy all of Loki's illusions or just target Loki, baiting out all of his cooldowns. Venom, it's kind of another case with Thing, where he just pops like a balloon. Good Venoms do know how to do things, and especially if your other support doesn't heal you at all, that's gonna be a problem. But with your runes, you can counter Venom ult, and overall, it should be pretty easy to deal with a Venom, at least if you're a good Loki. Bucky, another full counter to Loki. Any good Bucky will have free range over a good Loki. Only if the Loki is exceptional will you really win that matchup. Wolverine, I would say Loki is good against. Kind of like the same story with these two. Wolverine can just pop like a balloon, plus if Wolverine pulls someone in, I've done this many times, I throw out an illusion and pop runes, saving my teammate. And then White Fox is another very soft counter, just purely based on her primary, can bounce through illusions, kind of like a mini Moon Knight. Now that's everything. Now what I've noticed here is a lot of supports, I think every support really, is at none or below, other than Invisible Woman and Jeff. Loki is very good against other supports. Oh, and Ultron up here as well. But he's very bad at all poke characters or dive characters. And actually, before I end the video, I just want to say Adam is going to be moved up to here to a soft counter, simply because he can shoot the illusions in the head and get 1 second off of his healing, and that's just heavily valued right now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. See ya.